But I've just got this little tiny buckle which appears very much to be a wristwatch buckle. Right, I'm deep in this grove of bracken fern here, and right around here I've got a nice high compact 75. So this could be pretty good. Just there. Of course, as you can see, it's not disturbed yet. A lot of vines in here too. Trip hazard's pretty high. Yeah, it's very moist in here actually. Just scrape it back. It doesn't sound like it's too deep. Okay, it's still on the ground there. Right, this is good. It's not a shallow target. See what we get here. Without disturbing these vines too much. Better get out of here somehow. Now I've moved it, so it wasn't very deep at all. So it could be quite large. Look at my hand. And it's a poncho grommet. Poncho grommet, nice. Hence the great target ID of 75. Well, I've been detecting this area here, battling this lantana and bracken fern. Reason being that I'm getting a lot of targets. Clearly hasn't been detected in here because obviously it is difficult to do so. I'm taking some damage, but I'm getting it done. I've probably got 5 or 6 poncho grommets with a target ID of 70 to 75. But I just got a nice recovery here because I'm digging this area. And this target was a 60 something, bouncy. And what we got is some kind of awesome button. I just relocated. Oh, here it is. I just disturbed it. Look at that. That's got a great design on it. Is it? It's going to be either Dutch with the lion and the sword in the crown, or could be Australian or a US. Okay, I'll get out of this dappled light and we'll identify this button. But look at the condition of it. Shank's perfect. That's very like the button back I got earlier on. This one's got the front. Let's have a look at it, clean it up a bit in the bush. Okay, this is an awesome find, and from what I can see of this relic, it's the same identification as the one I got earlier. That button back was one of these, and I'll just show it to you now. When I first saw it, I knew it wasn't Australian because the loop on the back of the button was quite fine. The Australian ones are quite thick and hefty that went in those wool uniforms. Have a look at this. It's got on the shaft here. Hopefully we'll get some focus. It's a US Army Great Seal button, but a small one. Similar size to that one on the back I got about an hour ago. See that little loop like that? US Army Great Seal button. That is an absolute ripper. Very happy with that. Righto, well here it is. It's a US Army Great Seal button, a small one, but of similar size to that button back I got about an hour ago. So I would suggest that's what that was. With that little delicate loop on it. If you have a look at the loop on it, it's quite small and delicate. The Aussie ones tend to be thicker than that. That's an awesome find. I'm really happy with that. Push it into that bracken. I'll stick around this area for a while. Okay, on a roll, we've got a second one. So that's 2 small Great Seal buttons, both in very good condition. You can see that's just got a little bit of the granitic sand on it, but look at the shank. It's beautiful. Great nick. Okay, there's more targets in this lantana. Crack on. So this is where I'm working with the pick is, and I haven't backfilled my holes. Basically it's just leaf litter scrape in this little grove of lantana and then back further into that bracken fern. It's pretty hard to swing a call, but that's why the relics are still here. Okay, I'm going to subject you all to a live dig here. Could be a real train wreck, this one. But I think I've got another button. So that cleared area you can see is where I've just got 2 buttons. I've got another scratchy, jumpy 50s to 78 sort of signal. There. More than likely is another button. Could be a grommet, but I don't think so. The buttons tend to give, because of their shape, look at that bit of glass, a bit of blue crockery coming out. Because of the shape and the conductivity of the buttons, they do give variable target IDs depending on their orientation, obviously. Look, there's another one with that crockery. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Oh, awesome. That's a Great Seal button, small caliber, number 3. Hope you can see that in the dappled light. It's not good. I'll get it back out in the sunshine in a minute, and because it's quite dappled light in this forest floor, and we'll get some good pics of them. Right, this was in the buttons, high tone. I'd suggest US military equipment of some description, off rigging. And these little pieces here, I've got 2 pieces from there, similar sort of pattern. So it's some sort of sliding clip mechanism. Probably have a belt or a bit of webbing harness. Well, in this button patch was another watch band buckle. So the personal equipment's come adrift here. Right, I'm still persisting around the periphery of this little lantana bracken grove. This one here is probably a grommet, but I'm going to go live anyway. It's a solid 72. Generally the grommets jump around a bit more. It's just straight up 72, really compact. Could be a little coin. Given the personal gear that we're picking up here, anything's possible. Okay, as you can see, the double D off to the left of my pinpoint there. That's fine. We'll get there eventually. Okay, I pulled it out. Right, it's in this little mullock here. We've got a new hand. What's it going to be? Yeah, it's a small grommet. There you go. Okay, I'm just working along this old army road here. Probably very difficult to see it in the video with the dappled light and the amount of regrowth that's happened since the late 40s, but I'll just see if there's any targets on the road other than vehicles. Obviously there would have been a lot of troops backwards and forwards along here marching, or just heading into the canteen or whatever it was down that way or that way. I'm not really sure about that, but definitely would have seen a concentration of traffic from the huts and tents that were off to the sides of the road. So we'll just have a little wander down the road and on the edges of the road, see what we can get. Okay, just have a look at these buttons again. I've reassessed the situation. You can see the 2 on the left are the US Army Great Seal buttons. They're the smaller buttons, coat buttons I would suggest. The one on the right, which is slightly smaller, is a KNIL, or Dutch East Indies Army button. So that little patch produced parts of a watch band, the buckle off a watch band, 2 US and 1 Dutch button. Nice little spread of targets, actually. Lovely little bit of history for the different deposition in this camp. Of course, the US and the Dutch troops were here at the same time, as were the Australians. So that's a nice bit of history right there. Okay, this one's a 72. Right in the middle there of the coil. We've got some unusual tone roll off the side, hear that? Oh no, there's another target. That's a 41 over to the side. So we've got 2 targets side by side here. This one's a 72. Not far down, because it was, as you can hear from the proportional audio on the AT Max, which is quite loud. Let's see what this is going to be. Had a good run in here today so far. Really enjoying it. What is this going to be? It's out. Let's move you over here a bit. It's in my hand. And it's a live round. Oh no, it's the top off a. It's a top. It is a projectile. Yeah, pistol round. Pistol round. Lovely solid target. Gee, there's got a bit of weight to it too, as you'd expect. Well, this was a bit of a surprise. It was a sort of a low 50s and jumped into the 60s as it got into a bit of depth. It was about 5 inches down. It's a bit of World War II webbing. Over shoulder straps or something like that. Nice brass, nice World War II brass. It's a ripper, that one. Okay, that webbing buckle had a little friend in the same hole. A bit of strap ending off a bum pack or something like that. Definitely World War II. That's a nice little bit of brass again. Okay, I just got a third target out of the same hole. It's now in this Relic heap and it's registering to 76, so it's probably another buckle piece. So I'd say it's either a whole pack or a webbing belt's gone down here. Well, not a webbing belt, but a pack, definitely. So it's right out here somewhere. Oh, hang on, here we go. It's a little stud, like a. That's also part of the webbing. It's a fixing stud or something like that. That's also brass. Oh, it's a clip on off a pouch or something. Nice. Well, Colleen's just scored a silver coin here. A little trippance, she yelled out. What year was it? Did you say?
I think it's 1943.
43, so that'll be sterling. Oh, nice work. That would have been a high target ID.
Yeah, it was 80.
Beautiful.
1940 something.
Excellent.
Yeah. Really.
Okay, we'll give it a clean and get some photos. Okay, Colleen's just called me over. We've got a find over here by the sound of things. She's on max with the Nell sharpshooter coil. What do we got?
No, I don't think it's anything too exciting. Is it just a tube?
Oh yeah.
Is that a rolled up?
That's a toothpaste tube, the yellow ones.
Yeah.
That's usually says some bland taste due to wartime restrictions. They're pretty awesome when if you can get them open without it all peeling. Yeah. They're nice. So well, that shows the troops are right here in this spot.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another Colleen find coming up. She's deep in the shade in the bracken fern forest here. It's just a lovely spot to be detecting. What do you got?
It's like a little pendant. It's got a little
thing.
It's got a little hook on the top there.
That could be a little rosary. Oh, not rosary. You know those Mary medals, little Catholic medal. I don't know.
Like a St. Christopher or something.
Yeah. What was your target ID on that?
68.
Okay.
That's solid.
Okay, we'll give it a bush clean and we'll see if we can identify what you've picked up here. That's like a nice little find actually.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Colleen's find with a little gentle clean here in the bush. It's got the M. I think it's Society of Mary or something. We've found these in the past. It's a tiny little delicate one, and that'll be Mary on the other side. Look how small this thing is. Might be the chain in the hole if you check the hole.
No, I'll go and recheck it though.
Well, it's a lot likely. I guess it's come off the chain, but
yeah.
Do you reckon that might be definitely a woman's or a child's medal? Very small.
Yeah, it's quite delicate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, let's say nice bit of detecting in this grass.
Yeah,
well done.
Lovely.
What do you got here? She got roundness.
It's a 50. I think it might be some sort of a button.
Oh, righto.
What do you think?
So it was a target ID of 50.
Yeah, it was sort of 40s and then...
when you got it out, it was a bit higher.
50.
Okay, well, we'll give this one a bush clean and see. It could be a military button. Quite likely, actually, at that target ID. We'll just have a look. Back short. Righto, well, here's Colleen's find. This predates the army camp. It's a little bit, as you can see, some of it's not quite there. But it's a 19th century 4-hole button, which is probably branded, but you can see the bottom right on the camera there has rotted away. It's been here a long time. But that predates the army. That's not World War II. So as you can see, there's well, the pioneers and early settlers would have been wandering through this scrub, of course, too. Well, I've got a nice compact 75 next to this piece of broken glass right on the toe of the coil there. Let's have a listen to this. Up in there. Now that's nice and clean. Dead set 75 both directions. Good target ID. I don't think that's going to be a 303 because I'll just turn the machine off and we'll get down to this live dig with the pinpointer. I think it's going to be live 303 because normally they present different target IDs in two different directions, simply because they're a linear sort of target. Right there where the pinpointer is. 75. It's going to be I'm a bit behind on the board actually. With Colleen's got a silver already and that lovely little religious medallion. That was a tiny little relic, that one. You got to keep your coil right down on the ground to find that kind of stuff because it's several inches under plus whatever airtime you're giving the coil. Okay, I've already got this out, so it wasn't deep. Well, you could hear that from the top with the pinpointer. There we go. It's a 303 projectile, hence the solid target ID. Nice one. So this has been shot through here. It might have. It could be it exploded around from a bushfire or something, but anyway, that's the projectile. I've just pulled back the leaflet here and I've got a coin. Look at that target ID. Looks like a halfpenny, but it's an awfully high target ID. Not unusual for that kind of thing to happen, mate. Let's have a look here. I'm just up the side of the track. You can see there's a coin here. Yeah, I'll say that's going to be a halfpenny. Hey, looks like it's an Elizabeth. Oh, that's weird. That's not going to be that old then, is it? Well, relative to whatever else is in here. So this isn't a World War II drop. Okay, I'll see if I can get a date off that and identify it. Pretty sure that's QE2. Could be wrong. Let's have a look. Well, it's a little unusual. It post-dates the army camp. It's a 1954 QE2 halfpenny. So the camp was pretty much gone by the early 50s. Look, this could still be an army drop. I'd say it would be. No one else is going to be wandering through this bit of scrub, I guess. Okay, well, that's nice. That was a really solid target ID and a very high number, as you saw. Yeah, look, that probably was an army drop. The camp was sort of faded in the early 50s, but there's no doubt the army would have been, well, they weren't cleaning up, but they probably would have still had the control of the area 1954, 55. So it's definitely, I'd say that's a military drop. Always nice to get a pre-decimal though. Not quite up in the heights of Colleen with a silver coin and a religious medal, but I'm getting there. Let's move on. Yeah. Today I've got one of these Camelback chute 1 litre insulated stainless water bottles in my pack. Boy, these things are they're value for money, and I'm not sponsored by Camelback. Keeps your beverage really cold. Like, I filled that with cool water this morning. It's still cold now, 5 hours later. It's an awesome bit of gear, and it's got that magnetic lid that just flips back and stays there when you're drinking. Great bit of kit. Well, we just finished our cheese and pickle roll. First target, literally a couple of metres from where we were sitting, is this remnants of an old kid's cap gun. It's definitely not a World War II actual weapon, but that's pretty awesome. Here's my next recovery. It was a scratchy signal and a lot of rubbish. Turned out alright in the end. Nice World War II webbing buckle. Solid brass. Okay, Colleen's done well here. She said she's got a coin in this long grass. At 80 signal.
Yeah, it's an 80. It looks like it might be a penny. The size of it.
Oh, nice work. Isn't that strange how that Elizabeth halfpenny, I think it was an 82.
Was it?
Yeah, look, tell you what. Well, that might be a Commonwealth penny.
Oh, okay.
It's quite thin. It feels thin, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
nice work. You don't get too many pennies in here. They're always the first thing to go in these heavily detected sites.
Yeah.
And look, this is the grass she was working in.
Yeah.
Pays off. Okay, let's give it a bush clean and get a date.
Okay. Nice
work. Well, there she is. It's a beautiful 1942 kangaroo penny. You can see the kangaroo hopping to the left. King George VI. that's a nice bit of work, and it just shows you push into these areas that people don't detect or they walk around, like long grass and heavy scrub. You get these kind of finds because, yes, the pennies are always the first to go because they're a big target, but that was quite deep too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Well, hot on the tail of Colleen's penny. This is one of the deepest targets I've dug all day. It's about 6 inches down. It came out of the bottom of this hole. Looks like a smaller gauge shotgun shell of some description. That's unusual. It may not be army. And it was very deep, so it's an old layer. I'll definitely get some head stamp information off that. Right, that's not army camp. That's deep, and it's probably related to that button Colleen got several hundred metres away, but an older layer, maybe pioneers or early settlers coming through here. It is a 12 gauge, Eli London. That's an old round, that one. I'm not quite sure of the date. I'm not sure if the date's on it, but you may be able to see that. If there's any information, I'll put it on the subtitle. Nice.